viewers, welcome to the end of another week and another edition of Totally Fucked Up Friday. And I'll start this week's roundup of the totally fucked up stories with an example of the dangers of Islamic extremism. Farid Saif is the Iranian-born leader of an Islamic group in the US who advocates the overthrow of the US government, calling them illegitimate, the arming of like-minded people, and says they should call themselves sovereign citizens of the worldwide caliphate, saying they will rise up and take their place. He was in court on weapons charges, and instead of answering to the charges, he presented his own papers saying because the judge didn't recognise Sharia law, he didn't recognise the authority of the judge, and neither did God, so he didn't have to respond. And when the judge threatened him with contempt, he said he was happy to go to jail because he'd spend the time in jail making converts to the cause who would join them in the uprising. Now, I suspect a significant majority of viewers believe that story. And that's fair enough, given A, the media coverage, and B, it's 90% true. The part that wasn't true is that's not an Islamic fundamentalist group I'm talking about. It's a white Christian fundamentalist group in the US. And I know, even as I point out, the Alaska Peacemakers militia are white and Christian, and some among many across the US who believe federal laws don't apply to them because the federal government's not legitimate. I know there are people saying, oh, but that doesn't count because they're not dangerous. It's Islam that's dangerous. Just because they say the law doesn't apply to them and they carry guns and they say the government's going to be overthrown and they'll write their own laws. They're not dangerous. It's like, look, just do what I did. Change everything about them from white Christian to Muslim, and how the fuck are people going to react? This is why the just rampant Islamophobia doesn't make sense. Yes, there are a lot of Muslim extremists around the world who are dangerous and in fact are outright pricks. They want to introduce laws that make the Middle Ages look sophisticated. Shit that just couldn't work. That's the other thing that bugs me about proponents of Sharia law, and they're everywhere. They're fucking idiots because it will never work. Oh yeah, the worldwide caliphate. How's that working out for you guys in the whole rejecting technology? I went off on a tangent there, but all fucking fundamentalists shit me. It is not Islamic fundamentalism that's the problem. It's not Muslim extremists who are the problem. It's fucking extremists who are the problem. And for the people who are still going, no, they're not dangerous, you're an ignorant fucking moron who really doesn't have the right to speak when you're that stupid. If you don't think these groups are dangerous, you need to do a little bit of reading. Look up Timothy McVeigh, a white Christian militia type who murdered a huge number of Americans because he thought the federal government was bad. Okay, that is what a mass murderer is. It's not a Muslim. The Muslim mass murderers, September 11th, everyone wants to point to, they are the scum of the earth. So is Timothy McVeigh. So is anyone of any religious persuasion who thinks murder is a legitimate advancement of their goals. Interestingly, Farid Saif is a real person who is in the news this week. He's an Iranian-American businessman, does a lot of travelling, and he got a bit of a surprise on one of his trips this week when he looked in his luggage, I think it was his laptop bag, and he found he had been carrying his Glock handgun. It was what's known as a baby Glock. Oh, the picture. It's a concealable weapon. It's popular for that reason, but it's not fucking microscopic, and it was in his carry-on luggage, and he didn't realise until he got to his destination. Do you really need this pointed out to you? Okay, he is an Iranian! See, the victimization, the profiling of the brown people doesn't work, doesn't make you safe. The ridiculous nude scans and intrusive pat-downs that humiliate everyone, they don't work. They don't make you safe. The only thing that stands a chance of stopping terrorists is proper investigative work. By the time they get to the airport, there is almost zero chance of them being stopped if someone isn't already onto them. And I'll link you to the cheery news that whenever secret tests are undertaken on the TSA, they tend to fail between 2/3 and 3/4 of the time to find stuff like bombs and guns that are being smuggled onto the plane. This is by, US security people who are doing the testing. The failure rate's like 2/3 to 3/4 of the time. So all of this bullshit, besides being just giving up of rights, besides being victimization far too often, it doesn't work. Every time I hear some fucking moron go, oh, but it's worth it if it stops one terrorist attack. What if it doesn't, you morons? This stupid shit doesn't work. And because this is the last TFU Friday I'll do before Christmas, I think it's time for something a bit Christmassy. And yet, still totally fucked up. Now, with all the toys on sale, it could be a real competition to find out, well, which toy is the most totally fucked up toy this season. There's been a real beat up about Barbie with a video camera saying pedophiles will use it. I don't even want to go there, that is so stupid. I think I found what could well be the most totally fucked up toy. I'll link you to a video because it's on YouTube. It's a German TV ad, and in German the toy's called Kackel Dackel, which I believe translates as Dachshund shit. No, really, Dachshund shit. The game is, the kids have a Dachshund, a sausage dog, and you feed things into it, and then kids randomly do a number of pumps based on dice rolls. They pump a little pump, and it goes a certain thing until what they fed it squirts out the other end. Yes, they get a Kackel Dackel at the other end, and you'll see the kids enjoying chasing each other around with their simulated shit. I just want the people who want to campaign against video games can say, oh, violent video games, they make kids violent, ban them. Go out and ban this, because by that logic, this is going to have kids chasing each other around with real dog shit with great big shit-eating grins on their face.